Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into something that affects literally every single one of us. We're taking a deep, profound journey into the true mechanics of human connection, our relationships, and ultimately, our own internal peace. If you've ever felt anxious in a relationship, or maybe wondered why achieving your goals just doesn't always feel like enough, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to unpack the absolute foundational differences between genuine love and emotional dependence. Okay, let's dive right into this. It's a huge question, right? Are you actually in love or are you just attached? I really want to challenge some of the core assumptions we all hold about our most treasured relationships today. We throw the word love around all the time, but so often what we're really experiencing is something entirely different. And honestly, it's a misconception that causes an immense amount of unnecessary heartbreak.
So, what exactly is attachment? Well, at its core, it's a state of emotional dependence that's actually born from inner emptiness. It's what happens when you seek to feel complete through another person. Think about it. When we become emotionally attached, we start believing we simply cannot be happy with that specific person in our lives. But that dependence, that isn't coming from genuine love. It's actually stemming from our own inner voids. We're essentially trying to use someone else to plug a hole inside ourselves.
And this brilliantly illustrates the stark contrast between the two. On one side, we have attachment. It constantly seeks completion through others and relies entirely on dependence. It's needy. On the other side, we have true love, which is completely whole in itself and exists independently. True love isn't about needing someone because you feel half empty. It's about coming to the table already completely whole and then choosing to share that completeness with someone else. Moving right along to Section 1, the root of possessiveness and why we try to control.
So, have you ever felt that sudden urge to control a partner? Or maybe you've been on the receiving end of that kind of behavior. Where does that toxic urge actually come from? Well, psychology tells us it's rarely about the other person. It's actually rooted in deep, deep insecurity. It's driven almost entirely by the fear of losing someone, which stems directly from feeling completely incomplete on the inside. That desire to control another person's thoughts, their actions, or who they hang out with, that isn't affection, no way. It is literally just fear, cleverly disguising itself as love.
I want you to really listen to this quote. A secure heart never needs to imprison the one it loves. Just let that sink in for a second. It's so powerful. If you are truly secure within yourself, if your heart is actually full, you will never feel the need to build a cage around the person you care about. Finding true emotional security means giving up the illusion of control entirely. Which brings us perfectly to Section 2, true love gives freedom and letting go of control. Let's look at what this uplifting reality actually looks like in practice. Real, genuine love allows the other person to grow. It wholeheartedly supports them in making their own free choices and actively encourages their individual expression. And most importantly, it completely rejects domination and the suffering that comes right along with it. Real love supports without ever needing to dominate. It's basically the fertile soil that allows trust and respect to naturally blossom, rather than planting the weeds of anxiety. You see, when love mutates into control, it basically becomes a form of imprisonment. And the result of that? Absolute mutual suffering for both people involved. It's exhausting. But when you actively choose liberation, when you step back and say, I love you enough to let you be entirely yourself, it fosters this incredible, deep trust. It generates mutual respect and true freedom. Suddenly, the relationship transforms from this heavy burden into a shared joy. Now, let's pivot a bit to Section 3, the illusion of fame, and looking for validation in the wrong places. Because, it's not just intimate partners we use to try and feel complete. A lot of us desperately want the world to validate us too. But fame and ego, they only offer temporary satisfaction. They rely on external applause, and without actual inner joy, all that recognition is ultimately meaningless. Contrast that with self-awareness in the soul. This is where you find lasting peace. It's found entirely within you, and it is completely independent of other people's opinions. Because the hard truth is, if you don't have joy when you're completely alone in a room, absolutely no amount of fame, popularity, or success is going to magically create it for you. And that leads us right into Section 4, finding peace within yourself, the ultimate foundation. So the absolutely crucial point here is that knowing your true nature is really the only permanent solution to life's anxieties, and understanding how to get there is key. Step 1, you have to understand yourself before you go out seeking outside love, appreciation, or validation. Step 2, you learn to remain completely calm in both success and failure, whether you're getting a standing ovation or facing harsh criticism. And step 3, you entirely remove the need for constant external approval. Achieving this kind of internal awareness makes you literally unshakable. You become the anchor in your own life rather than just a leaf getting blown around by the wind of everybody else's opinions. When you break it down, the concrete facts about happiness are actually pretty straightforward. First off, happiness is an inner state of mind, period. It absolutely cannot be achieved permanently by external success, not by finding the so-called perfect relationship, and definitely not by achieving ultimate fame. Those external things are never, ever going to permanently fill a void that exists inside you. Real contentment requires deep self-acceptance, and it demands living with intentional daily awareness. You have to actively choose to discover the peace that's already sitting quietly inside of you right now. Now, what's really interesting about this is how it brings our entire thesis completely full circle. True love never imprisons, it liberates. When you finally let go of your own inner emptiness, when all those expectations, the fear, and that possessiveness finally disappear, that is exactly when your relationships become genuinely healthy and meaningful. You finally stop holding your partner hostage to your own insecurities. To sum up this whole journey, it really boils down to a massive, fundamental shift in perspective. Attachment is all about seeking ultimate ownership of a person. Honestly, it's fundamentally selfish. But true love seeks only the true happiness of the other person, regardless of what that means for you. It's the profound shift from saying, I need you so I can be happy, to saying, I am already happy and I just want you to be happy too. So I want to leave you with a very direct challenge today. Stop searching for fulfillment outside yourself. Seriously, take a long, hard look at where you're directing your energy every single day. Are you constantly looking for a partner, a boss, or maybe a social media audience to finally make you feel like you're enough? It is a game you are never, ever going to win. The finish line is just going to keep moving. Because here is the profound absolute truth. Joy has always existed within. You've literally already possessed the exact thing you've been frantically searching the whole world to find. If you can just stop, take a breath, and really begin cultivating that self-awareness, you'll unlock a lasting peace that no one can ever take away from you. So, what's actually stopping you from looking inside today? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I really hope you take some time to reflect on these concepts. Until next time, stay curious and keep looking within.